Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So, today I want to talk about relationships and specifically, get straight into it. Sometimes women would say, what did I do wrong? Or am I not good enough? Am I not worthy enough? Why is it that this man is cheating on me, right? Is it that I'm not good enough? I'm not. Women ask themselves that a lot of times, and it's not about what you did wrong. It's who that person is, right? That's who they are, or at least that's who they've become, right? That's who they have become. If they want that person all the time, then that's who they are now. So when you're talking about, well, what did I do wrong? What did I do? That's who that person is. Cheating is a matter of choice. Just in case a lot of people forget, you cheat by choice, right? You don't cheat by accident. I don't think anyone cheat accidentally somehow ended up cheating. You cheat by choice. So that it is a decision that you make at a certain point to decide that you are going to not respect the person that you're with and that you're going to engage in sexual activity or whatever it is with someone else. So at a certain point, you've made that decision. You didn't accidentally fall into that, because if you think of how someone ends up with someone else, there's a time between when you are intimate with someone, when you have sex with someone, where there is a lot of conversation that is going on, and so you're traveling through a journey, right? The journey to the end of your relationship is what I call it. And while you're on that journey, before you do something that completely just disrespects your relationship, just gives complete disregard for your relationship, while you're on your way traveling to that journey, you have a lot of time to change your mind, to walk away from that situation, to be able to not put yourself in a situation where you're only going to regret it and hurt somebody that you claim to love. So cheating is not, you don't accidentally fall into cheating, right? Someone makes a conscious decision. It's a choice that someone makes that they're going to cheat. Now, sometimes women would say, you know what, out of embarrassment, because they don't want it to look bad in their family or their friends or whatever the case is, some people will decide to stay in the relationship. And some people say, you know what, I'm strong, so I stayed. Right? So I'm strong. That's why I stayed, is because I'm strong. I stayed in the relationship and I fought for it, because if you look at a lot of people, they probably would have walked away, right? Actually, it takes strength to actually walk away, right? It takes strength to actually walk. The strength is not that you stayed. The strength is that you have the strength, and you're strong enough to be able to walk away from a really terrible marriage, or just a terrible relationship. Because the truth is, a lot of people stay because they're staying for the kids, or they're staying because they're embarrassed and they don't want everybody to know that their marriage is not as good as it looked on the wedding day, or as they're posting on social media, on Instagram, or whatever the case is. So you're putting all these pictures and all these videos and all these stuff out there, and you're making it seem like you're having this hell of a time and that your life is great and your relationship is great, when it is not. And so to be able now, when you realize that your husband or your wife or whoever is cheating on you, to be able to end that show that you've been putting on, showing up to work smiling, talking about the family and the kids, and making jokes about the husband and all that type of stuff. And you really don't have a husband. All you have is a man that actually lives in the house with you, but is not your husband. To be able to end that type of relationship takes strength, because it means that you are going to disregard all what people think. What people think is not going to impact the decisions that you need to make for your happiness, right? So what people think, it's not going to impact the decisions that you need to make for your happiness. But what happens is, a lot of people, right? A lot of people, they decide to stay, not because they're strong, but because they're embarrassed, because they don't want everyone to talk in the neighborhood or all their friends or whatever the case is to know, well, I'm getting a divorce and it didn't work out or whatever the case is. So they put up the charade, they keep up with the show. When they're outside those four walls, they're the happy little wife or whatever the case is. But when they go back inside of that, they're terrible, they're unhappy, you're crying, you're this, the person is tormenting you, you can't trust them. You know, that is not a healthy relationship. And look, the other thing too is you have to take some personal responsibility for that after a while. Now, if you stay in a relationship like that for years and more years and more years and another year and another year and another year, after a while, you are adding to your own pain, and you have to take some self responsibility for that as well. So not because the person is cheating on you. You're not responsible for that. But what you are responsible for is your happiness. And if you stay in a relationship where after you have found out, okay, let's say you try to work it out, right? Something happens. Nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. So someone says, I made a mistake, all right? And they fess up to it. You talk about it. You get counseling. You get whatever the case is. They said, I'm going to do better. But 2-3 years after they're still doing the same thing, then don't blame anybody else for being unhappy. Don't even blame the person that's cheating on you. At this point, you are the one that is contributing to your unhappiness because you have decided to stay in a relationship with someone that does not add anything to you at all. All they do is they take away from you. And women have this way of just enduring forever. It's a good quality, right? It's a good quality. But a lot of times it's a weakness as well, where women would stay and hope that if they do, you know how many women that I've talked to in the life coaching that I do, uh, who would say that, I just thought I had to do something different, or if I did something different, whether it was an abusive situation, well, I made sure I had the food warm when he got home, or you know, many people have tried to do something different and different and different and different, and it doesn't change because what happened is you've encouraged the monster that you actually know live with. So the beast that you're fighting against is also a beast that you've created because you've encouraged certain types of activities and you've excused certain types of behaviors. And so now the person is really comfortable with the space that you have created for them to make you unhappy, right? So you've actually created a space in your life for this person to make you unhappy, and that person has gotten comfortable within that space, and you helped to create that space. And that's why I say, look, even after a while, if you're in a relationship where someone is hurting you, then you have to take some responsibility for that because you are staying in a situation that's hurtful to you, claiming you're staying for the kids or whatever, or for money or whatever the case is. And that's why, if a lot of people would say, well, money can't buy you happiness, it can buy you comfort. So if you're going to give up happiness for comfort, then that's a decision that you're going to have to make, right? And then some people will say, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, if you're alive, you've got choices, right? And one of those choices is to either stay with the person who only adds heartache and hurt to your life and leaves you crying and all that sort of stuff. And I'm telling you, I personally know women who have been through this, personally know women who've been through this, who waited for people to change, who waited for certain men to get their act together, hoping that one day this person was going to change and was going to do the right thing and all that sort of stuff. And it doesn't happen. Like, it just, 99% of the times, it just does not happen. And as I've said, what you do is when they give you a little every now and then to make you feel okay, and then they retrieve or retract back into who they really are. And so as I've said, what you've done is you created a space in your life for somebody to hurt you because you keep them in your life. So that's something else to really, really think about. So when you're saying, well, what did I do wrong, or what did I do this, or did I what? A lot of times it has nothing to do with you whatsoever. It has nothing to do with you, but you've encouraged certain things that are now hurting you. There there was a situation where, and this actually just happened today and the day that I'm actually recording this video, where, let me see if I could summarize this real quick. So I am at a store and this couple gets into an argument. Well, everyone could kind of hear because they're standing behind me in the checkout line, and it's quite obvious he wants her to give him some money. She's on the phone talking to her friend about. Now, this is a conversation that's kind of like out there, so anybody around could hear it. Not going to help but to hear it. And so anyway, they get into this kind of thing, and he calls her, though, you know, you're a nasty bitch. And this is what he says to the girl that he's dating: you're a nasty bitch. And I'm thinking, I wonder how many times he's said that before. You know, I wonder how many times he said that before that. And she has created some kind of, because she didn't seem like completely shocked that he said it in the presence of other people in the store, right? It was more embarrassed, not shocked, that he said it. So I'm thinking, how many times has this guy probably called her nasty before, or you dirty bitch, or whatever the case is? How many times has he called her that before, and she's still in the relationship with him? So after a while, you becoming the same thing that that's how he's seeing you, right? Because that's how he's seeing you. You're fitting into that. So what kind of respect do you ever expect that this person is going to be able to give to you? If you have people calling you out of your name and you remain in a relationship with them, if people are cheating on you and you're still in a relationship with them, then this person is not your man. This person has become your god. Because a lot of times what happens, you'll see women defending men who are doing them wrong. You're not, so it's, he's no longer your man, he's now become your god, right? And you're defending this person that's doing you something wrong. So, you know, this is just a video that I feel I had to really make because of kind of what I saw today, and then some other situations that, you know, I saw, and you know, some life coaching stuff that I've been doing. So, you know, please take this into consideration, all right? Specifically for a woman, please take this into consideration. Men don't cheat because you necessarily, oh, you did something wrong. If you with a guy and he's cheating, he's cheating. And the other thing is, one more thing. Sometimes people love to say, well, you know, men ain't shit, right? Men ain't shit because, no. The guy or the dudes that you deal with, those guys ain't shit. Those are the ones that you're dealing with. So when they make these things, oh, well, men ain't shit, and men ain't this, and the men you deal with ain't shit. And you've got to realize and come to a decision and figure out, why is it that you deal with men that ain't shit? Because not all men are like that, or else the world just wouldn't be what it. There wouldn't be a whole lot of happy people out there, right? There wouldn't be people in good relationships, regardless of who you're dating. There wouldn't be people in good relationships. So because you are bitter and broken, you can't take all of that and throw it off on everyone else and say, well, men ain't shit. No. It's the men that you're dealing with. Those men ain't shit. And you keep dealing with men who aren't good for you, and you trying to get new results, trying to get better results. You're trying to find this Prince Charming, but you're always looking for the same type of people with the same type of personality, with the same type of whatever, and then you expect them to actually be something good. So when a lot of women say, well, men ain't shit, that just ain't true. It's the men that you're dealing with. Those are the ones that are not shit, right? So please leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications because I post pretty much every single day. Also, don't forget to share the videos, hit the like button. Those two things help the channel grow. I'll appreciate it really a lot if you do that. And also, you can leave me comments down below for videos you want to see me make. Follow me on Instagram. My handle is right there, and you could also send those suggestions or questions to me on Instagram as well. All right? So until next time, be good. Peace.